What is up, YouTube? Is a break on. So I got a very, very interesting article right here from MMORPG.com. I will link it down in the description below if you want to go back and read it. But there's a few tweets they put in it that I want to talk about. I think it's very important. This is for the upcoming MMORPG by Riot Games. If you don't know who this company, they've made Valorant, League of Legends, and they are currently developing a fighting game as well, which I think I'm going to try out. But they got this very interesting couple tweets right here, and they're coming from the executive producer, Greg Street, right here. But they were talking about, is this game going to be solo focused, more group oriented? This is a very, 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 very hot debate in the MMO community. A lot of old OGs are like, man, this MMOs become too solo focused. And then you got a lot of players saying, well, I don't want to be forced grouping. So it is kind of that back and forth. And let's see what he's got to say. So this guy right here asked him a question. I'm going to go over 3 tweets I think are very important. Zais, or Z-A-I-S. So great question right here, my man. Great question. So it asked him, his Greg Street's Twitter is a Ghost Crawler. So it says, Ghost Crawler, curious for the MMO, what you and your team's philosophy is in approaching grouping for group content. I always found that not having instant queuing random group finders is healthier for the games as it forces the creation of guilds and creates a sense of community. Yeah, back in the day, for anybody that don't know this, there were not group finders to do dungeons in a lot of MMOs. A lot of them now do, but back in the day, you had to meet up with people, a lot of times run to the dungeon. No fast teleports, none of that stuff. You had to, talk about it in guild chat or global chat and find a group. But he responds right here. He said, this will be vague, so you can't give too many details. But our philosophy is if you want to play a single player game, there are great ones out there. Horizon, God of War, Persona. Shout out to Pathfinder. Okay. If you want to play a game with the community, friends, then play our MMO. So what he's saying, we are going to focus on the community. We are going to focus on group content. It's going to be a big part. We're really going to do it. So I'm very interested to see the infrastructures on this right here. I'm going to go into more details in a second after these other comments on my thoughts on this. But he goes on to say, ask another question right here. Piece of Solitude. It says, I don't know if you can answer this now, but when designing the MMO, do you approach it like, this is how we want our MMO to be, take it or leave it? Or this seems to be popular with the community, let's add it. So how much did they listen to the community, or how much do they stick with their core design? This is the big issue with New World. If you know the background of that game, they switched the core design multiple times. But it says, it's like we decided to open a seafood restaurant, not a place where no matter what kind of food you like, we got you. But we will pay attention to what seafood entrees are more popular with the seafood dining community and adjust the seafood menu accordingly. So basically this analogy I think is very good when you really look at it. He's basically saying we're going to stay with our core design. We're not going to change our core philosophy. If we believe that 90% of the in-game stuff needs to be group oriented and the community's like, no, we need more solo, we're not going to change our design. We're just going to try to make it a better version of it to appeal to more people probably. But they're not going to change their core design of the game, which I think is a big thing. I've said this for years. Too many developers try to listen to too many people in the community. And I'm not saying don't listen to the community, because I think you have to take feedback. But what happens, you just get a bunch of ideas just all bundled up and thrown in a game, and you just get a game that don't really mesh well together with all these ideas, if that makes sense. Like there needs to be a straight core design, and then you take feedback, and you stay on the track, but you kind of adjust going on the track to make it better and better by the feedback. But you can't just like start branching out everywhere. And next thing you just got a big cobweb of a game that you launch, and it's just a mess. They don't really synergize well together, the ideas. So I love that he's going to stick with the core ideas, but we'll still listen to some feedback and try to improve from great ideas that the community will involve. New World was the exact opposite. They flip-flopped their design multiple times and caused delays, and really caused kind of a rough start. Probably should have been delayed another year, but if they delayed it anymore, they would have been killed. But I think this is a good thing right here. So he goes on to say this last comment. He goes, so closer to the former. So he's talking about right there here. This is how we want our MMO to be. Take it or leave it. That's fine, man. Be blunt, man. Be blunt. But it's not like a painting where we don't really care if anyone likes it or our art or not. We want a vibrant community to love our art. We'll make changes to get them to love it more, but we won't try to appeal to everyone. That doesn't lead to great art. Man, this dude nailed the comments. That's what I was saying. You can't try to appeal to everybody. You can't try to appeal to casuals and full loop PvP at the same time. That's very hard to do. The casual guy that's going to play 4 hours a week versus the hardcore full loop PvP guy, you cannot appeal to both those in the same game. It's just too difficult. So I think I really like his standpoint on this, but it really sounds, it really sounds back here that they are really going to focus on the community. And I'm curious to see what kind of infrastructure they're going to bring in. I think because you got to bring in more than just say, okay, at end game, everything's group oriented or 95% is group oriented, dungeons and raids. And if we do battlegrounds, you got to group with somebody or whatever it may be. Let's just say, I have no idea. I think you got to build infrastructure outside of the dungeons and raids for group content, within the guilds. How's the guild features work? Does that embrace? I think guild features need to embrace the guild getting back to being guilds. We've lost that. Guilds now, or a lot of times, are just names over the head. It's not a community anymore. So I want good guild community features to make the guild work together, to work together as a team, to build, so we play together, get bonuses by grouping together with the guild. However you can do it. I wouldn't mind having some way to brother sister guild. Maybe have each guild better have 2 brother or sister guilds, and have some features bounce off each other that way. That helps smaller guilds. If you just want to have a small guild with 10 people, but you can have brother and sister guilds and have features somehow in the game where you can interact with those people. I played games like that where there was actually a brother sister guild chat window you could have. So it kind of really would help. But I'm really curious to see the infrastructure on this. But it looks like they're definitely going to go more group oriented or community oriented is the word they're using. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I think the great thing about this game, it has the funding behind it. It's not some Kickstarter that's going to struggle financially. They got the funds behind it. They have a reputation of building big, massive games, of course. So I'm really excited to see the direction this game goes. I can't wait to see gameplay of this game. But let me know your comments below on this. If you like this, if you don't like this. But that's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, guys. And I will see y'all next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.